Buongiorno and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. And yes, I'm rocking the vest, the grey vest. I've been blaming the wife for misplacing it for ages. Finally found it where I'd left it. So I've got probably the most random issue for this time of year, especially with the fact that the weather has dropped right down. I've got string algae. I've got algae all around the side of the pond. String algae across the side. I've been super busy at the minute. I mean, ridiculously busy. So I've not had time a lot of time to dedicate to looking after the pond, and I've just neglected it in the fact that I have been observing the sides and the bottom. The thing that drawn this to my attention, I was doing a pond filter change, or I was doing a filter clean. And when I turned the air off, I had a look over the top and I could see a lot of poop. I mean, a lot of poop hanging around on the bottom of the floor. In fact, what I'll do is, because I was so shocked, I did a quick little video on my phone, so I'll crop that in now and have a look at all this on the bottom of the pond. Okay, so that is super bad. I was like, what the hell is happening? Obviously, we're just moving the filter, the Nexus, across, which has increased the back pressure, because now instead of the bottom drain just coming right down under the floor, out the back and into the Nexus, it now goes under the floor, out into a 90-degree bend, across into another 90, into the Nexus. Okay, so that's increased the back pressure. So I was a little bit worried that maybe the back pressure was too much on it, doing 290s additionally on the 4-inch pipe. I thought, is that really bad? But then when I looked a little bit closer, I seen the string algae. With the pond being fiberglassed and a nice smooth bottom, it's got a nice smooth bottom, and it's like it goes down towards the bottom drain, so all the poop can just gently bobble and make its way to the bottom drain. As it spins, the vortex will spin it like the toilet, and there'll be nothing on the bottom, so the poop just slides straight in. But remarkably, at this time of year, taking my eye off the ball, I've missed the fact that we've developed some string algae on the side, to which I'm going to show you now. I'll crop this video in. Please ignore my skinny little legs in the background, because I can't do nothing about the reflection. Okay, so you can see that it's absolutely crazy, isn't it? So especially in, like, what is it now? It's getting towards October. So I was like massively shocked to be able to see that, but maybe it was like when we had the heat wave, maybe it was just kicking up then and it tried to continue. So the thing that I did is I get my Resolve and I banged that in about 3-4 days ago, which has had an effect on it. In fact, if we just wander across now, and what I'll do is I'll spin you around so then you can have a little look. Okay guys, so here we go. As we approach, oh, 1 second, 12.4 degrees the pond water, which is actually higher than I thought it would be. As you can see, we've got a nice level of clarity there in the pond. Fish are quite chilled, they're just wondering what I'm up to. There's Jaffa, the leader feeder, the boss of the pond now. But back to the issue at hand. There you can see, even though I cleaned the window the other day, we're getting some algae build up. I'm really shocked at this for this time of year, to be honest. But it has controlled it, the Resolve, and it will slowly die. But you can see there on the bottom, we no longer have the poop situation. Okay, so you can see there at the bottom, we no longer have the poop situation where it was being held. But what I did is I treated for the algae, which was only a couple of days ago, so it will take its time to die. But I also increased the pump speed at the back. Now I settled it on a nice 30, about 30 it was when it was coming straight out. I put it up now to 45, and the reason being just due to the back pressure of having those 290s, I think it's really affecting the flow of the pond. The vortex still seems to be alright, the water's pushing around nicely. We're changing my pump speeds about 3 days ago. It's obviously cleared up the poop situation. That, with the fact that we're killing the algae off and the resistance that the algae is holding on the bottom, on the nice smooth bottom, and reducing the furry effect, the poop is actually making its way down into the bottom drain, which is exactly what we want. But I was absolutely gobsmacked when I saw that, when I was just doing my maintenance and saw the poop at the bottom. And I'm sure you are too, because when you look at it, it's not nice to see all that poo decaying there in the bottom. But yeah, all in all, it seems to have resolved itself. I can't really see, as we take a little gander over the top, I can't see any of the poop if we just wander around this side a little bit. and you're not, I doubt that you'll be able to see because of the bubbles, but I can see. Just scoot you over the top just in case. So that seems to be a problem that's been resolved either by, predominantly I believe, by increasing the pump speed due to the back pressure, but also getting on top of the algae. I just wonder if anyone else is having an algae problem at this time of year, because it seems extremely strange on the fact that the pond is at 12.4 and this is probably the warmest day we've had in a while here in Manchester. But also, another thing that I want to talk about is this. This Cockney's wheat germ, winter food for the koi. That is the wheat germ that I've been using since I started my koi keeping over the winter, because obviously as we move into the winter, into torpor season, the fish don't want anything at all sitting in their digestive system very heavy. So the all season will get phased out. So what I'll do is I will fill this now. This is my good old reliable biscuit tin. That will be filled half with all season and half with the wheat germ. Basically we're going to be phasing them over onto the wheat germ for the winter, because obviously when the temperature drops at night, and it has been dropping because we've had the heating on, at night you don't want to have the fish sat in their digestive system stuff that they can't digest, or they're not going to be able to digest at certain temperatures. So that's why we're going to be going on to the wheat germ. That is the wheat germ that I use, I have always used, and I've popped a link in my description to the Amazon for the wheat germ there that you see. I think it's $17.99. And on that subject, I just want to say that in that description you'll see a lot of links to every single thing that I use on my pond. So as I want to be straight with you, and I pop the links in there to the wheat germ, when you do follow the links, I get little, say if you go and buy that product or any products off Amazon, if you follow the link and go and buy another product, I get about 5% of it. Reason being, the only things that I've got on there are the things that I genuinely use, are the things that I'd recommend, are the things that I've used throughout my journey. As generally, when you're starting off in this hobby, you don't really know what to choose. So knowing that somebody else has used it, I'm not saying it's the best in the world, because I'll probably have some people saying you shouldn't use this, you should use that. But that is the stuff that I've used. Anything that is on there, on the links, is stuff that I've used. I have not had a problem with. If I've experienced a bad product, I wouldn't have put the link on. So the links that are there, so you guys know that somebody else that you know, i.e. me, has used this product and is happy with its ability. And on top of that, Johnny gets a little kickback at 5%. Also, if you are thinking of buying anything off Amazon, just go via the link, click on it, you end up on Amazon, search for what you want, buy it, I get a little 5% of that. It's not much, but it's just a little something that helps, that is going towards my little pot to buy more stuff coming into the new year. So I just wanted to be honest and open about why those links are there, because I believe it's a good thing. 1, recommended. 2, Johnny gets a kickback. Okay, so on that note, if you want some wheat germ, that's your stuff. That's what I'll be using this winter. So all in all, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that little episode just about me encountering issues with poop and furry bottoms, but it's going all good. We're in the process of resolving and getting back to having a nice smooth bum, and the pump speed seems to have resolved the issue with the poop settling a little bit there, and now you know what all the links are about. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. If you follow the links and buy something, fantastic. If you don't, you don't. But there you go, a little bit of information for you, and just a little update on where we're at with the pond. I think it'll be next weekend. In fact, what's coming forward is the next few episodes, as we'll be winter preparing. I'll probably be salting my pond, putting the covers on probably next weekend if I get a bit of spare time to get them on. I'll also be doing a little health check on the fish, pulling them out, having a good little look at them, measuring them up for the winter. As you know, I did for all my subscribers that have been with me for a long time, that have seen the videos. This was supposed to be Johnny's year of growth. It wasn't. It was Johnny's year of, I don't want to say death, mistakes, painful, strong mistakes, and I lost half my fish. Okay, so you guys already know about that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure every single fish in there, but mostly it's going to be based on the 10 remaining survivors after the potassium permanganate, that awful mistake that I made on my journey through this, and lost all my fish barring those 10. So we'll measure those 10 and see which one's grown the most in the year. Like I say, that episode isn't the episode that I was wanting to release, or isn't the episode that when I started this little thing in March, I definitely didn't envisage it being like this. But them 10 will get measured up. The pond covers will be going on. The insulation boards over the windows, I've got to go and find them and make sure I can find them all to make sure this is insulated, because this window will definitely be getting insulated pretty much through till March. It'll not come off at all, that one. But the front one will, basically, so I can observe the fish, see the fish, and monitor them through the winter to make sure that they're all right. But when it comes, if we get a super freezing time, I have got some insulation board cut to the side separately for that I can just whack in when and if needed. But I don't want to lose observation on my fish throughout for a sustained period, just in case something goes wrong. And like I say, salt in the pond. So anyway, I've waffled on and on and on and on like I always do. I hope you've enjoyed this little episode. I hope you've enjoyed, not that you've been able to see it, but Johnny's koi fish Johnny vest, which probably, well, I'm still going to be videoing this in the winter when it's bloody snowing. I don't care. Please take care, please like, please subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed this little episode.